Water. We swim in it, we drink it, we need it to live. Of all the water on this blue planet, only about 0.007% exists as accessible liquid fresh water to fuel and feed the needs of 6.8 billion people. This precious freshwater resource is continuously recycled through our atmosphere and back into our cups through the hydrologic cycle. When water enters the cycle as precipitation, some of it falls directly onto lakes and streams, while the rest falls onto the ground surface and percolates down to a more porous soil layer called the aquifer. This underground water is groundwater, and about 9 million Canadians rely on groundwater for everyday use. Groundwater can be pumped out through wells or can discharge directly into lakes and streams. In Ontario, we're lucky enough to be home to some of the world's largest freshwater lakes, including the Great Lakes and the focus of my research, Lake Simcoe. The problem is that in recent years, the water quality of the Great Lakes and Lake Simcoe has been degrading due to urban development and agricultural activities. Main pollutants entering the lakes include nutrients such as phosphorus, fecal contaminants, and chlorides, and this can lead to beach closures, harmful algal blooms, and threats to fish populations. So how are these pollutants getting into the lake? We know that surface runoff plays a role, but what about the underground pathways? Groundwater flow is an important transport pathway for pollutants, and concentrations in groundwater can often be much higher than in receiving surface waters. For example, septic systems alone are estimated to contribute approximately 4.4 tons of phosphorus to Lake Simcoe annually. There's a need to target areas where groundwater is entering the lake to determine how and where these pollutants are being delivered. But this is no easy task. Groundwater discharge is highly variable along the shoreline, and there's uncertainty when it comes to groundwater discharge hotspots, where groundwater may be flowing preferentially and which may be subjected to higher pollutant loadings. And this is where the Radon 222 method comes in. Radon 222 is an element that occurs naturally in soils, and as groundwater flows through the aquifer, the radon mixes in as a dissolved gas. The concentrations of radon in groundwater are 3 to 4 orders of magnitude higher than in the lake water, which makes it an excellent tracer for groundwater discharge. And what this means is that the radon concentrations that we measure in the lake can be directly linked to groundwater flow, where a higher concentration means more groundwater. By identifying these groundwater discharge hotspots using Radon 222, we can better understand the role of groundwater to deteriorating surface water quality. And this can lead to more targeted management plans to reduce the overall pollutant loading to Lake Simcoe and other inland lake settings. Targeted watershed protection is important now more than ever in the protection of our freshwater lakes and by extension, all of our freshwater resources. Thank you.